I heard a fact the other day that said about 70% of first-time solo campers feel anxious before their first trip. I think I'm definitely in that camp. I've been camping for years with family and in groups, but the idea of going solo, that felt completely different. It's something that I've wanted to try for a very long time, but every single time that I thought about it, there was something holding me back. I even went as far as pitching my tent inside the living room just to make sure that I knew what I was doing if I was to go out, but I still didn't go. And it was all down to that little voice that you get inside your head. You know, the one that just turns the simplest adventures into the biggest disaster movie of all time. Yeah, that one. Eventually I hit this point where I was just like, sod it, I'm just gonna go for it. And not in a reckless way, but I realised that I'd been kidding myself. So here we are, the location of my very first solo camp. I'm not sure how much daylight I've got left, so I'm just gonna unpack, get a tent set up, and yeah, then get some dinner, I think.
And high above the clouds and autumn leaves, despite the lack of oxygen she breathes.
I realised that there was a big difference between being ready and being perfect, and that is what I'd been chasing without even noticing. I was waiting for the perfect weather, the perfect plan, the perfect mindset. None of that actually exists because nature isn't perfect and life isn't perfect. And that's sort of the whole point really, because adventure comes from things being a little bit uncertain. And at some point you've got to stop hiding yourself behind all of the preparation that you can possibly do and just trust yourself enough to be able to give it a go.
And now it's just the land I plow with me.
There is an amazing David Bowie quote when it comes to remembering stuff like this, and I'm going to read it out so I know that I get it right. And it says, if you feel safe enough in the area that you're working in, you're not working in the right area. Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in. Go a little bit out of your depth, and when you don't feel that your feet are quite touching the bottom, you're just about in the right place to do something exciting. I think that sums it up perfectly. So there we go, this is my brand new tent, all popped up for the first time. This is the OEX Raccoon 2.1. It's taken probably 15 minutes to put it up, which is super quick considering that I've been filming it as well. Look at this light now. What an amazing evening. I have made it a little bit easier to make it my first solo camp. I have booked an actual campsite, so there are people here. There's not many. There's another few people camping over at the other end of the field. But yeah, I wanted to just, first time with my tent, just get it set up nice and easily, nothing too much to worry about. And then, further down the line, I can start to think about proper wild camping. But I think I've got the bug. In fact, I know I've got the bug. I love camping. It's just a little bit different doing it on your own. You really cannot beat getting outside. I mean, look at that sunset there. And then over this side, got the moon coming up. It's mad. Amazing. Look at that. What a night. For dinner tonight I have some Cajun pasta from Huel. If you've never had Huel, I'd highly recommend it. It is very good, super quick and easy. Big fan of it. This is not sponsored by Huel, I'm just a big fan. Just waiting for my water to boil. But I've been thinking, the more time that I've spent here first time sort of solo camping like this. I've probably been here about an hour and a half now, and even though I have been distracted filming, setting up, just getting used to it, being out on your own isn't as daunting as it might seem before you come out. Because I've spent so long just overthinking it and building it up in my head and then getting anxious about it for apparently no reason, because there's no need to. I mean, I know I've got like pretty nice conditions, it's fairly warm, it's starting to get a bit chilly, but it's not raining, it's nice and dry, there's no wind. That makes it all a little bit easier. But yeah, it's not nearly as bad. It's so peaceful. I'm not new to camping, I've been camping quite a lot, but I've never camped on my own, so I bought a little 2-man tent, which is perfect because you can just pop it up on your own, you can fit it in your rucksack, and it's ideal for wild camping. And I'm just going to ease myself into it. So I booked this little campsite, and I've been constantly playing it up in my head, so thinking about things like what happens if I hear noises in the night around my tent, if I get scared, or little things like that. And it's all these little things that build up inside your head and that make you overthink it and put it off. It's getting a bit dark now, but so I think I might eat this and then turn in for the night. If you've ever found yourself in this situation where you're overthinking something that really interests you or something that you really want to do, it doesn't matter if it's camping or something, another creative project or anything, one of the best things that you can do is to just start writing things down. And I don't just mean trying to think about them in your head, but physically writing them down, whether it's on a notepad or on a spreadsheet, just physically writing it down. And then you can start to ask yourself, what's just one small thing that I can start to do to be able to get myself closer to what I want to do? And for me, that one thing was just packing my bag for the first time. Packing my camping bag, even though I did it 3 days before I was going, and I would still unpack it and pack it up again and check I had absolutely everything. Once I had my bag packed for that very first time, things just started to feel a little bit less overwhelming. Wow. Well, that's not a bad view to wake up to. That sunrise is incredible. I was not expecting it. It goes all the way around. That is unreal. Well, first night solo camping done. Woken up fairly early, it's 5:45. But yeah, I don't think it could have gone much better for my first time, if I'm honest. I was nice and warm inside, everything stayed dry inside, that was a big bonus as well. And I've got incredible conditions. Sun's just coming up, the sunrise has disappeared fairly quickly, which is a little bit of a shame. But it looks absolutely incredible this morning. So still and peaceful. There's things I need to think about for next time I do it. Like, I just realised this morning that I have forgotten my walking boots, which is a little bit of a bummer because my feet right now are absolutely soaked.
High above the clouds and autumn leaves, despite the lack of oxygen she breathes.
I find it really weird, but when you actually come and do something that you've been thinking about doing for quite a while, it's never actually as bad as you first thought it might have been, because you've been building it up into your head as to something that it actually isn't. And you think you've not got the right stuff, you've not got the right experience to be able to go and do it. But until you actually go and do it, you're never going to know. I don't think there is anything that can beat that first sip of coffee when you've been camping first thing in the morning. It's the best thing in the world. It's not until you actually get here that you start to figure things out. So for example, I know that the next time I come and do solo camping, and maybe even go wild camping, I know there's things that I want to change about my setup and things that I've brought and things that I do differently for next time. And that's the only way that you're gonna kind of get over those anxieties and the overthinking is by actually doing it. And that first hurdle is the hardest part. But once you actually do it, you realise it's not that bad. And it's actually quite enjoyable. And you just want to do it again and again and again. I've definitely got the bug for this, and I want to go wild camping as well. Hopefully, we've got a little bit of nice weather left in us this year. We shall see. But I think for now, I am gonna get packed up and go home because I haven't got any walking shoes and my feet are absolutely soaking. That is one thing that I would definitely change for next time. But if that is the only thing the major thing that I've forgotten this time, I'm pretty happy with that. The nerves don't just disappear. You don't suddenly become fearless just because you've decided to do the thing. But the anxieties that you feel before doing the thing definitely do start to feel a little bit lighter. And I think that for me is the real lesson. Every time that you take a little bit of action, instead of staying stuck inside your own head, it's almost like you're rewiring your brain a little bit, because each and every time you do it, you can cope with a little bit more. You're showing yourself that you can actually do that thing, and over time, that confidence that you build is going to creep into other things as well, absolutely everywhere, not just your future camping trips. So if you've been putting off your first solo camping trip, or even something completely different that you've been talking yourself out of, just remember it's not about waiting for the fear to vanish, because it won't. It is about putting yourself in the best possible situation to be able to just go and do that thing anyway. And honestly, when you take that first step, it is never as bad as you might have built it up to be in your head. Just go and do it. First solo camping trip done, all packed away, ready to go home. If I had my walking shoes with me, I'd probably head off and do some photography somewhere, because it is a lovely morning. But that is lesson learnt. I can do that next time. I am now so excited to be able to go and do more solo camping trips like this and bigger and better adventures, because I've taken that first step and it now excites me. And yes, there's still going to be times where I'm anxious about it and overthinking things and scared about things, but I've done that first thing, and that means that I'm excited about it going forwards now. So let me know in the comments down below, is solo camping something that you do or you are interested in doing, or is there something else that you're thinking about but you're stopping yourself a little bit? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's start a conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you see on the channel, and I shall see you very soon in the next video.
Now it's just the land I plow and me.
I was going to say it was quite quiet. I could still hear him.